Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about romance and anime, movies, TV shows and everything else. Today we'll talk about the proposal, right, with Margaret and Andrew. So the movie basically is about so Margaret runs like publishing company. No, she doesn't run it, she works for a publishing company, right, publishes books and stuff like that. So she's very hardworking, very tough. The first scene we see her is like firing somebody like in front of everybody. I enjoyed it. It's pretty good and pretty funny. Obviously losing a job is painful and everything, but it's a movie, right? So I'm just here to enjoy it. So I like how she just fired somebody completely, in front of everybody. Then we have Andrew, her assistant. Her assistant, right? So he's a guy, right? So Andrew, misses family gatherings, family events and stuff like that to work, so he can get like editor or get promoted and stuff. Sounds pretty normal. If you work at a job, it sounds pretty normal, having to work all the time and everything. So basically, that's their motivation and how they work, right? The personalities. And then so what happens is, so Margaret's from Canada, so the laws in America requires her to renew her visa, right? And she wasn't really renewing it, but she was working hard, so she didn't really care about that. But then it turns out that if she doesn't work on the visa, she'll get kicked out of the country. So that's basically the conflict, right? So she comes up with an idea that if I marry Andrew, then I can escape the visa process. So that's the idea that comes to mind, right? So but then Andrew has to go to see his family in Alaska. So she's like, okay, fine, let's go see the family who get hitched. I come back to America, then I don't have to do the whole visa thing. Terrible, by the way. You're trying to lie to the government to stay in the country. It's better than staying there illegally. That's true, right? But that's why you gotta always watch the visa processes, right? Always gotta be attentive to it. Always you have to make sure you watch it, right? It also almost happened to me. Almost got deported because I didn't care about the visa thing, wasn't really paying attention to it. I was doing other things, right? That's just not a good thing. You have to keep track of it, keep on it, right? If anything happens, you have to be the first one to know, first one to respond, right? It's very easy to say, you know what, I'm gonna postpone it, I'm just not gonna think about it, but the reason you're here was the visa, and if that expires or something happens, you get kicked out of the country. So you have to, keep watch of the visa and make sure that everything's right. So anyway, they go to Alaska, and apparently Andrew's rich. Like his father owns businesses in the town. His last name is all over the building, so he's pretty rich. In his house, you have to take a boat to an island. That's where his house is. He owns the land around the house. So Andrew's rich. Andrew's super rich, right? So now they have to pretend to their families that they're in love, that they're looking to get married and stuff like that, right? So that was pretty interesting to watch. And it just lies. Just like I always say, if you build a house on wood, like the foundation's wood, it's just gonna collapse. So building something on lies, it's never a good thing, right? So that's basically the movie. But I really like this movie, right? I like the female Margaret. I like how she went from, was basically she was an orphan. She didn't really have any parents, so she appreciated Andrew having parents that he cares for and they care for him. And then she feels bad for always keeping him working and not be able to come to see his family all the time, right? So she reflects on that. I think she changes, right? Character development. So she went from being a horrible person to become much nicer, more understanding, and see that life so is about work, it's about family, friends, stuff like that. So that was good to see that. Yeah, but it was pretty nice. And Andrew's a funny guy. I like the jokes he throws, these there's dead air, no one's saying anything, he just throws a joke in there. I like that's pretty good. I also like the grandmother was pretty funny, pretty entertaining as well. And then also there was conflict between Andrew and his parents in terms of that so his father wants him to run the businesses, right? But Andrew wants to be an editor, work in a publishing company. So that's why he moved to America. mean, Alaska is in America, but um, he moved towns and everything to work in that to work in New York City to become an editor and everything. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, so I think the movie's it's pretty nice, right? You know, you see different settings. We're in New York one time, we're in Alaska another time, and also shows that different people want different things. You have to know what you want. Some people want to live in big towns. Some people want to live in like villages, small cities. So I guess you have to know what you want, and live in the place that you most like, right? For me, I prefer bigger cities. It's more to do, more to see, more people. So I would prefer that. But some people would prefer small cities. They don't like to go around as much. They don't want to see a lot of people, less traffic. So there's different things, right? But the movie's great because it turns out that Andrew, it went from Margaret being the one who wants to do it, then she thinks on it, then she changes, right? Then Andrew's the one who's trying to convince her to do it. So I like how they switched the motivations in terms of who does what and when. So that was pretty cool. I think the actors played a pretty good role. I think this movie I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Right, it's pretty good, refreshing. Different personalities, different people. I think that was pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. So you guys tell me what you guys think, and leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely read it. Thank you.